So the UFC is rewarding Paddy Pimblett for his robbery decision over Jared Gordon by giving him a free win over the dead corpse of Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is dead. He's been dead ever since the Michael Chandler fight. That was very apparent in his last two fights. He's not there anymore. And Paddy Pimblett is going to take him down and submit him very quickly. I don't know what the UFC was thinking with this fight. I don't know why they would do this to Tony. I guess they just have no souls and no morals. Tony Ferguson is an old man now, okay? He's on a 6-fight losing streak. He lost brutally to Justin Gaethje. He just got beat up that entire fight. Eventually TKO'd. I mean, he was beat so bad in that fight that he was like running away in the third and fourth rounds. And then he just got dominated and controlled very easily by Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush. And in both of those fights, he was in very close submissions where he probably should have tapped. In the Charles Oliveira fight, it was an armbar, and his arm was way overextended, and it probably still hurts, let's be honest. And then in the Beneil Dariush fight, it was even worse because it was a leg lock, and leg locks are nasty. They do a lot of damage to your knees and all the ligaments in your knee. And then he fights Michael Chandler, and he looked pretty good in the first round. It was not bad. I don't think he won the first round. A lot of people say he won because he dropped Chandler. I think it was like an off-balance thing, so I guess just for the judges, yeah, he probably won the round because he dropped Chandler, but I don't think he hurt Chandler and dropped him. I think Chandler was off balance, and he was fine. It was very obvious that he was fine. And then after that, Chandler took him down and beat him up the rest of that round. So I would probably say that round still goes to Chandler. But it's a toss-up. Either way, Tony looked good in that first round. But in the second round, it was like, 30 seconds in, and then he got his face kicked into the next dimension, and he died. He's not alive anymore. What we see now is not actually Tony Ferguson. That is just the undead corpse of Tony Ferguson. He's not the same anymore, and he never will be. He's old and frail, and he has no testosterone left. He is decaying by the day. Paddy Pimblett is young, and he might not be the best fighter ever, but he's a good grappler. He has power in his hands, and he's physically a very strong guy. That's obvious in any of his fights. He is a strong dude. You can tell just by looking at him. He's big and he's strong. And Tony Ferguson at this point is probably the worst lightweight in the world, to be honest. At least in the UFC. I think he would lose to every other lightweight on the roster. I would pick Chase Hooper to beat him. I don't think he could beat anybody now. So that's why I'm not a fan of the matchup, actually. I wanted Paddy Pimblett to get a step up in competition and be tested by like a Matt Frevola or a Drew Dober, a Thiago Moises. Paddy Pimblett, Terrence McKinney would have been a cool fight. I think Paddy actually would have had a good shot at winning that one because Terrence McKinney wilts after the first round. Like, any of those would have been good step up in competition. But Tony Ferguson, it's just like if you beat him, it means nothing now. He's on a 6-fight losing streak. What does it mean? He just lost to Bobby Green, and he got submitted by Bobby Green, the boxer, Bobby Green. Tony Ferguson, back in the day, he wouldn't have been submitted by anybody. He had like a scary ground game. Now he gets submitted by Nate Diaz and Bobby Green back to back. I get Nate Diaz has good jiu-jitsu, but Ferguson basically shoved his head into the guillotine in that fight. He's just not there anymore. I think casuals probably will give Paddy a lot of credit for this fight, but I don't think any hardcore fans will, because I think most of us know that this fight means nothing for him, and I don't think it's going to help him gain any respect either. He lost a lot of respect in the Jared Gordon fight. I don't think you gain respect by beating up on old man Tony Ferguson. I guess as far as just getting Paddy's career back on the right track, maybe just as like a confidence boost for him, it could be good for that. And hopefully after this, we see him in some better matches. I'd really like to see him fight, like I said, a Drew Dober. Maybe Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell has lost a couple fights in a row now, but he's still like a good fighter, and I think that would be a win that people would look at with some credibility. Matt Favola, I know, is fighting Benoit St. Denis now, so maybe the loser of that fight, Benoit St. Denis, will kill Paddy Pimblett. But Matt Favola, I think he'd have a chance against. If you liked the video, then hit the like button. If you want to see more MMA stuff, then subscribe. I'm going to try to put out stuff. Try to put out multiple videos a week. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.